Jesus Christ. Okay. So I didn't plan on making a video today. I not even about this movie. I watched this movie on a whim, and I have to talk about this. Okay. I just watched this Netflix movie called We Can Be Heroes, directed by Robert Rodriguez. You know, I have the credits paused right on the director's name. If you don't know who Robert Rodriguez, he's known for a lot of stuff. He did stuff like Sin City, and also importantly relating to his movies Shark Boy and Lava Girl and the Spy Kids movies. But this is his newest film, I guess you could call it that. And the premise is that this world has superheroes. Superheroes have kids. Aliens invade, take superheroes. Now kids have to save parents and save world. And from there, you just go on this roller coaster of madness. Literally, if I had to describe this is the closest I feel like I've ever gotten to an acid trip. That's what I feel like, and not in the surreal thing, more of a. Okay, let me get into this. So, this movie, Robert Rodriguez, he's known for a few things. If you've seen any of his work, you know that he's known for being stylistic, cheap, surprisingly cheap. He knows how to use his budget pretty well. It still looks cheap though. And he knows how to make just crazy movies. You know, you can look at any of his films that either good or really bad, and you'll see this. And this movie is no exception. I mean, even when I compare it to like Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl, this one is just it drove me mad. I was laughing maniacally throughout this movie at parts that, I mean, and I think that that's kind of the point, really. I mean, it's mainly aimed for kids, but I enjoyed myself ironically. So it's a lot of things. First off, let me start with the cast. The cast of this movie is insane because, especially with the superhero parent characters, they actually have legitimate actors in here. Like you have Pedro Pascal in here. He plays like the main girl's dad, who's like an ex-superhero, and just seeing him in this situation is just so funny because I just finished The Mandalorian and then I saw WonderWoman 84, and honestly, this is probably his best role. I had more this movie gave me more entertainment than 84. That's crazy, yeah, him and the other parents, they really paint this idea that this is very much meant to be satire on superheroes, very much, because the superheroes in this, they're wearing very, just ridiculous outfits. They're doing very ridiculous poses and stuff. Like whenever they're in front of a camera, they make sure, okay, yeah, I need to look my best. I need to look heroic. I need to stand tall, do all this stuff. It's clever in that, in a very Robert Rodriguez way. Even though I didn't get what Pedro Pascal's thing was. I guess maybe he had magnetic powers. I don't know. He summoned like 2 katanas to him, like that goes Mjolnir or something. And then, yeah. But when it came to the superheroes actually fighting, you just see them get their butt whooped like it was nothing. Like literally, none of them really got to show off. You thought, okay, I want to see why these heroes are. No, they just get their butts whooped. They get handed to them comedically. They didn't have a chance.
You okay, shit? Want that drink? 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 Want that?
Usually when you see Endgame or Infinity War, where the heroes come and they're the best of the best and then they get whooped. You see them be the best of the best before they get whooped. No, they just get whooped. They're just getting grabbed by these little hentai tentacle monsters. I'm sorry for saying hentai, but that's what I could think about looking at these things, these cheap CGI hentai tentacles. They just get dragged away. They look like chumps. And again, I probably realize this is intentional by Robert Rodriguez, but still. But then you're introduced to their kids, and their kids are even more ridiculous. I mean, and this might sound bad, but trust me, they're like the special needs class of superhero kids. Their powers suck. They suck. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you have this one kid, he's the kid of pretty much the Flash of this universe, but he moves so fast that he moves slow. And it's not like, oh, it looks like he's going, no, he's literally moving slow. And it makes no sense. He's useless for the most part. Throughout the movie, he's just dragging everybody down. Half the time, I'm like, leave this kid behind. I'm sorry, he's a liability. So, and then you have this one kid. Well, you have two kids actually who have horrifying powers. You have this one kid, and he's the first one you really see use a power. He's pretty much Mr. Fantastic. He can stretch and stuff. But when he does, the CGI is so bad that it's horrifying. It creeped me out. Then there's this another one who can shapeshift his face, I guess, and that one had me creeped out. Though I have to admit, I kind of laughed when he said that, him and the Elastic Kid were face to face, like, oh, I could turn my face to look like you. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. The Elastic Kid's black, by the way. This kid, definitely not. The one who can shapeshift. So when he was about to morph, I'm like, hold on, careful, Robert Rodriguez, careful. You don't want to go there. And he kind of, I mean, he took on his facial features, not really changed his skin too much. So it's kind of a happy medium where it's not exactly blackface, but he only stepped a little bit there. So Robert knows how to ride the line, I guess. Oh gosh, and then you have these other kids. He has this one kid who's in a wheelchair, and literally his name is Wheels. His name is Wheels. And I don't know if it's meant to be a callback or not, but all I can think of is freaking X-Men 1. With Wolverine when he first meets Professor X.
What do they call you? Wheels? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
But he's not in a wheelchair because his legs are weak. He's in a wheelchair because his muscles are so strong that his bones can't handle them. So he has to be in this monster truck wheelchair. Oh gosh. And then there's this one acapella chick. Like, she sings and things happen. It makes no sense. Like, she said she can sing real high, and it sounds crazy and stuff. But if she sings low, things levitate for some reason. And when she does it, she goes Super Saiyan. Her eyes glow. It makes no sense. And then there's a few more, I think. What's it called? Oh yeah, this one guy, he's called Wild Card. His whole thing is that he has every power that you could possibly have. He just can't control it, so he can just turn to random stuff. He doesn't know what to do. Whatever, that basic thing. The thing I don't get with him, I was trying to figure out who was his parent amongst the pantheon of superheroes for the longest time. But then I realized it was the tech parent. Like, you see him beginning catching the Superman type character, and he has a jetpack and he runs out of fuel and all this stuff. So he's a techie guy. So I assumed that his son was the guy in the wheelchair. But no, that guy, which still would have made sense because his legs are super strong, whatever, and he's smart. But that kid is the Superman character's kid. But the guy who has all the powers, he's the tech guy's kid. Which makes no sense because they never said the tech guy has powers. And they make a big deal about having powers. But the tech guy, as far as we know, don't have powers. Maybe he's super smart. But they never established that. Right? Like it would make more sense for Wheels to be the tech guy's son, but no, it makes no sense. Oh yeah, also there's these two twins. One can rewind, one can fast forward. They never utilize them that well. They utilize them a few times where it's obvious, but there's times I'm like, use your rewind powers, use your fast forward powers. Why aren't you doing this? Like they drop something down a shaft. It's like, oh no, we dropped the thing. It's down there all the way. I'm like, use your rewind powers, bring it back up. You have it now. But no, they don't. They use the stretchy arm guy. They do it the hardest way. I was yelling at this kid's movie. Oh my god. Okay, and yeah. So also there's this mute girl that can see the future. That there's actually a thing with her going on, but all this is happening under we're following this one girl. She has no powers. She's Pedro Pascal's daughter, and like her whole thing is that she has no powers, right? And so she feels outcast. She doesn't feel like she belongs. Also, her mom died, and so now she's very protective of her father. So she doesn't want her father to be a hero anymore. And you know, her arc, the kids, for the most part, they're not the worst kid actors you've ever seen, but just their characters themselves are so ridiculous. Like it's things like they do that thing where like when they first find out, so the girl who's mute and whatever, she can see the future. She points out, hey, she drew that these aliens about to come invade this place. We need to get out of here, right? And so the guy's like, it's like, oh, so what? She can see the future. We're just gonna listen to you now, like, dude. She just shows you this evidence that this girl can see the future and that the aliens are coming. Why not? But like her, so they said they established this one thing. She walks a tightrope, right? The girl has no powers, but she's not confident enough to walk the tightrope. She doesn't feel like she's ready. So her arc ends at the end of the movie by her walking a tightrope made out of stretchy arm kid's arm in this elaborate trap to catch these monster things. And it's all slow-mo dramatic. It's a tightrope. You know, that's the dramatic ending. As the acapella girl and her mom, who's trapped in another room, are singing "We Can Be Heroes." A very dramatic way. Like this whole time, you hear them reference the song like 2 or 3 times. And it culminates to them singing the song again. I'm like, is this movie just made just so we can sing this song? And kid who can't control his powers, who has every powers, he can now suddenly control his powers now because, hey, I just needed to not prove myself to others, but believe in myself. Even like the main villain chick is laughing at him, how ridiculous that sounds. It works. Also, Shark Boy and Lava Girl in here. Now, obviously Taylor Lautner, he didn't come back for this, so they got some rando dude to be Shark Boy and put a helmet on him. But instead of giving him speaking lines, he doesn't talk the entire movie. He just looks, growls, does this as Lava Girl, who's the original actress, is talking. And I was like, man, come on, give this man a line. Like, yeah, he's not Taylor Lautner. He's not taking off his shirt or anything. No one cares. No one came to this movie for proper continuity. It doesn't make sense why Shark Boy and Lava Girl are here. They're supposed to be imaginary friends of that Max kid. You know, it would have made sense if this was all in Max's imagination as he's in his mental institution or something. You know, but no, they're real now, apparently. But yeah, they have a kid, and instead of lava, she controls water, and she has shark strength and powers. That little kid, she's frightening. Like, there's this point where she's like beating up these grown men, and she pulls him on down the road, like like that. And I swear, like any other movie, that little kid you would have seen organs and entrails flying everywhere and blood gushing. Like I was looking for that. Any other Robert Rodriguez film, that would have happened. And I almost wanted him to go that extra step. But here's the kicker. This is where I lost it. So at the end of the movie, they put these change out the motherboard things to stop the timer on this doomsday device only to find the things that come out are their parents. And then the aliens who were doing this the entire time, turns out this was all a test for the kids to elevate the kids to take their parents' place as the new heroes of Earth, because apparently the message of this movie is kids are better than adults or something. I don't know. The message is not really that clear, but these aliens are led by a little mute kid who could see the future. She was an alien the entire time, and kids rule their planet. Adults are subservient to kids. In which, what do they age backwards, or do as you get older, you're suddenly a second-class citizen? I don't know. Anyway, so it was all a test this entire time. All this destruction and mayhem and kidnapping and turmoil, all a test. Everyone hugs. They're reunited. Girl's confident because she walked a tightrope and didn't die, I guess. And the movie ends. That's it. This ridiculous movie entertained me way more than Wonder Woman 84. And it nearly drove me insane doing it. Props to you, Robert Rodriguez. Props to you.